Top 10 Moments from the FIFA World Cup 2022. The tournament had plenty of memorable moments that will live forever in the minds and hearts of people all over the world. Argentina became world champions at the end of the FIFA World Cup 2022. The tournament in Qatar was a huge success with sensational football on display, especially in the final, which had everyone on the edge of their seats. Lionel Messi finally winning the elusive trophy is perhaps the biggest moment in the history of the sport. A glance at the tournament as a whole brings forth several iconic moments. These memorable results, sights and achievements truly made the FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar one of the best in recent memory. For the spectators in the stadiums and viewers at home, this edition of the World Cup was unforgettable for many reasons. Among the myriad of sensational moments from the tournament, here is an attempt to condense them down to 10, and on that note, here is a look at the top 10 best moments from it. Wout Weghorst's late equalizer. The quarter-final between the Netherlands versus Argentina was one of the most thrilling matches of the World Cup. During the game, Messi and co were seconds away from making it into the semis, but Wout Weghorst had other ideas. In the 11th minute of added time, with virtually the last kick of the match, the striker scored the equalizer after a well-worked free kick to send the match into extra time. The emotions on both sides were extreme following the goal. Cristiano Ronaldo starting on the bench. Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup campaign was disappointing for multiple reasons. The biggest shock was perhaps when Portugal's skipper found himself on the bench for the round of 16 clashes against Switzerland. This decision was shocking and yet telling of Ronaldo's decline. Gonzalo Ramos scored a hat-trick in his place, and yet the former Manchester United forward hogged all the headlines. Saudi Arabia's win over Argentina. In what was one of the biggest shocks of the World Cup, Saudi Arabia defeated Argentina in their opening game of the World Cup by a 2-1 scoreline. The eventual world champions never saw the defeat coming, carrying a 36-game unbeaten streak into the match. Despite the odds against the Asian nation, they emerged as winners, which led to widespread celebrations in Saudi Arabia and many other parts of the world. Ivan Perisic's son consoling Neymar. Brazil was one of the favorite nations to win the FIFA World Cup 2022. However, their shock exit at the quarter-final stage at the hands of Croatia was truly shocking. Post the game, where Modric and co. won through penalties, an emotional Neymar was consoled by none other than Ivan Perisic's son Luka, who is also a fan of the player. Their embrace was captured and became viral over the internet. Harry Kane's penalty miss. England lost their quarter-final contest against France by 2-1, and the match had lots of memorable incidents. However, the one that truly will be remembered by English fans all over the world for years down the line will be Harry Kane's penalty miss that would have levelled the score. Having scored one goal from the spot earlier in the game, the striker was destined to score his second and become England's all-time leading goal scorer. But, the pressure got to Kane, leading him to send the kick into the stands. A silent protest by brave Iran footballers. During Iran's first game against England at the World Cup, the players did not sing the national anthem in protest. It was a massive show of support and solidarity with women of Iran who are struggling for their rights and suppression by the government in the Islamic Republic. The gesture resounded across the world, and people lauded the bravery shown by the men's team of Iran, who stood in support of the anti-government protesters, knowing that it would invite danger, and yet they did it regardless. Morocco's win over Portugal. Morocco's run at the World Cup was one of the major highlights of the tournament. The African nation finished Group F on top, ahead of teams like Croatia, Belgium, and Canada. Then, they proceeded to knock out Spain in the round of 16. Their biggest test came in the quarter-final against high-flying Portugal, and the 1-0 win over the star-studded European team was a dream turned into reality. The nation became the first from Africa to reach the semi-final stage of a FIFA World Cup. As they were riding on incredible support from their fans inside the stadium and all across the world. The result left Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the stadium in tears, in what was likely to be his last chance of lifting the World Cup trophy. Group E final match day. Group E had former World Cup winners Germany and Spain, with Japan and Costa Rica completing it. Few people had thought that the former world champions would, at one point, be heading out of the group. However, for a few seconds that was the case when Japan was leading Spain and Costa Rica was leading against Germany on the final match day. Eventually, Japan made it to the knockout stage with an iconic win against Spain, but Germany was eliminated despite beating Costa Rica. Morocco fan dancing with Senegal's supporters. Senegal's supporters won hearts due to their constant dancing in support of their team. However, during their group fixture against Ecuador, a Moroccan fan was seen dancing amidst a sea of Senegalese supporters. It was truly symbolizing African unity and the power of music and dance in football. It was one of the moments when different cultures came together to celebrate the true beauty of the World Cup. Lionel Messi kissing the trophy. Many say that it was Lionel Messi's destiny to win the FIFA World Cup 2022, which could be his last edition as well. The picture where the Argentine skipper kisses the trophy with the golden ball in his hands is the most iconic picture to come out of the tournament. It was a moment that millions across the globe wished for, and seeing it become reality was perhaps the biggest moment of the World Cup.